that we do it correctly. But don't think that we're not making sure that we're keeping everybody protected. We have our strategy on prevent, which we hear tonight is fairly controversial, but it's still, I think, rescuing people, stopping people becoming radicalised. We have an intelligence service that works closely with the police, that is delivering results. 18 serious plots have been foiled by them since 2013. They do fantastic work to keep us safe. And we will take action, of course, where we see that there are terrorist or potential terrorist conversations. The intelligence services are doing their jobs well in order to do that.
But your answer to Shelley Blackston is you can't throw people out of the UK because they're suspected terrorists. But you do say in your Conservative manifesto we're going to consider new criminal offences that might be created to defeat terrorism. What kind of new criminal offences are you going to consider creating?
Well, it will depend what comes out of our various initiatives we've also put in there. We're going to have a commission on extremism to find out what else needs to be done. We want to tackle this in a way that I hope will engage the communities and be thoughtful about it as well. But terrorists, don't forget, also come from abroad, so we work internationally with other countries, with European partners, with other countries from farther afield, particularly trying to spot any returning foreign fighters to make sure they don't get into the country, as well as looking for them internally.
But British fighters who go abroad, of course, you can't do anything about when they come back.
We haven't,
unless you can prosecute them.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of tools at our disposal to try and make sure that we stop them coming back where we can, that if they do come back, we have the evidence in order to lock them up.
But on the point that you make, new criminal offences, from what I hear from you, you're not really thinking of new criminal offences at all. You're just saying you're going to consider it.
No, we are thinking about new criminal offences.
What kind of thing? What area?
I can't be drawn on that at the moment, I'm afraid, David.
Because you don't know the answer? Or
I do know the answer. I just don't want to have that discussion here. We're not being political. It would be difficult to have right here. But
all right.
There'll be more of that.
Sarah Khan, what do you make of the point that Shelley Blackston made, that we should be much rougher, tougher on suspected terrorists?
Well, I agree with the Home Secretary that when we're talking about suspected terrorists, the idea that we throw people out of our country is not the way we're going to defeat this problem. Look, we have to stand for our values. That includes the rule of law, standing for human rights. And I fundamentally believe that the best way we're going to win this battle against extremism is through the prism of human rights. We can't abandon our values. And already we are seeing people who are being convicted. There have been around 269 odd people who have been convicted between the period of, I think, 2005 and 2015. We've got to use our court system. And also, we've got to be very careful when we're saying, this person is a suspected terrorist. We've got to go through the rule of law, and I think that's really, really fundamental.
Do you want to come back on this, Shelley?
I just can't get over what happened on Monday. And had anybody known that he was capable of what he was capable of doing, And
I don't think there's a single person in this room who's not feeling what you're saying and does not have sympathy with what you're saying. But throwing them out is not the way of solving this problem. It's about dealing with having a multi-pronged strategy and we can counter this way in a much more effective manner.
Colin Perry?
If you want to throw them anywhere, throw them into my peace centre. And we'll work with them. And we'll take as long as it takes. We'll take as long as it takes to try and change the way they behave and the way they think. Now, you may think that's fanciful. It isn't. We've got ample evidence we can do it. And we don't play with people's minds. We just talk to them. We reintegrate them into British society as best we can. But you cannot abandon the rule of law and say, you're suspected, off you go. You can't do it. That would cause major problems. But throw them our way.
All right. The woman in blue and white stripe, yes.
Hi there. First of all, I would like to say that my thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. I myself am a Muslim. I am a British Muslim and I'm very proud of my heritage. But I am also a realist, and there is an elephant in the room here, and unfortunately, it is very unfortunate, there is an issue with regards to radicalisation and extremism that does exist within our community. That is something that we have to accept and we have to deal with. I would like to go back to what the gentleman over there was saying when he referenced a mosque Yes, we do. We do have an issue within our mosques, within our religious institutions. We have children being taught the Wahhabi interpretation of the Quran. We have Saudi-trained clerics coming in and speaking to children as young as 7. You know, they have these books. You know, children are taught just. You know, we have to do something about it. Stop. I would say, for now, temporarily, close down all Saudi-financed mosques. And I, myself, as a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, so, you know, we have to do something about it, yes. Not only have our homegrown terrorists, you know, where terrorism is also being imported right under our noses.
There aren't any Saudi-funded mosques.
Yes, there are. Yes, there are. Yes, there are.
Sorry, who said that there aren't what? Who's...
I'm saying they're not officially.
Hold on.
There are.
Say it again, sorry, we didn't hear.
No Saudi-funded mosques in the UK. That's a misnomer. There used to be money that was brought in from abroad, but that has all stopped, and it stopped a long time ago.
Are there no Wahhabi preachers and no Saudi money at all? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Well, that's my knowledge. Certainly.
There are.
There are.
Yeah,
The
there are.
Wahhabi
I think there's a
preachers.
difference between Saudi money and Wahhabi preachers.
Yes.
I mean, there are Wahhabi preachers, no doubt. Can I just answer...
Can you pick up the point of the Muslim woman who said that you've got to face the fact that there is a lot of...
I'm 100%...
The language of
I'm 100%
radical
behind,
language is heard in the mosques.
I'm 100% behind her.
Yeah.
I don't go to any meeting, for example, which is just exclusively men. I ensure that if they invite me to a place of worship, there have to be women there. You have to change their behaviours. You've got to confront them when they are coming up with the kinds of things that you've just identified yourself, because that's how, sadly, this generates even more hate.
Yes.
And how they generate difference as well, which is something that we've got to deal with. But at the same time, the communities themselves are taking action. They just need to do more. One of the things I'm doing, actually, is setting up a community COBRA, which is made up of not the usual suspects, but people perhaps like you might want to join, who are young, who understand the issues and work together to try and develop solutions. And I think that's what we need to do, because the problem with there is a deficit in Muslim leadership in this country. The vast majority of Muslims are now under 25, female and from low-income backgrounds. The leaders are male, over 50, from middle-class backgrounds. And there is that dislocation.
So how do you adjust that deficit?
Well, we stop talking, sadly, to people like me. You stop talking to the older generation, the people who claim that they're community leaders. The white community don't have community leaders. Why do we suddenly assume the minorities have community leaders? We start engaging with young people. We start talking to people in student land. We get them into the room and talk to them about how we can tackle this issue.
Very good.